Hello, everybody. It is Coach Jess Lee, and today we are talking about navigating eating out. For those of you just kind of jumping in, don't know who I am, I'm a one-on-one fitness and nutrition coach. I have my master's degree in exercise physiology and several other certifications in the field. But my mission is to truly help people improve their health and fitness so that they can show up as better parents, better partners, and better leaders at their job. And this is going to change society. This is going to change generations. And it really just starts with you building a sustainable, realistic confidence in your health and fitness. And I have the answers, and I'm so excited to share them with you. The reason we're talking about navigating eating out today is because I love eating out. I love it. I love the social aspect. I love the experience. It tastes delicious. And my boyfriend is a professional chef. And so we like to experience different restaurants and what they have to offer. But with that being said, eating out can be a huge obstacle in our progress towards the physique or body composition or health that we want. And so there are some ways that we can approach eating out that will really honestly help you maximize your results because you're able to still continue to live your life, go out to eat and enjoy the things that you like to do and be social, which is going to be a lot more sustainable for you sticking to your game plan. Let's just say it's fat loss. Now, I was going to save this piece for the end here, but something that I want to put on the table right away is I want us to remember why we are going out to eat. Because usually the answer isn't we're hungry. Because if we're hungry, we would just eat at home. But we are going out to eat for the social aspect, for the experience, for someone to cook our food for us. There is so much more to eating out than just being hungry, which will allow us to adjust our mindset around the food choices that we make because we're not there just to eat. And so we can choose a healthier, better option because we're still going to get everything else that we want to get out of the experience, like socializing with friends. What we eat doesn't change that. Of course, there is some kind of group influence on everybody ordering certain things, and we'll get to that. But remember, you're going out to eat for a lot more reasons than just the food. Now, before I get going here, you guys, there are a lot of ways you can connect with me. You can follow this YouTube channel. You can join my free Facebook group community where I'll do a lot of live trainings, live workouts, education, motivation in there. Or you can join my one-on-one coaching app. It's $13 to the App Store, and you will get so much more of me and a lot more progress towards your goals. But I'm happy you're here regardless. Here are my top tips for navigating eating out, especially while you're on a health and fitness journey. Because when you're on a health and fitness journey, it's likely that you are eating in a calorie deficit. You're trying to get a consistent number of calories, whether it's a surplus, a deficit, or maintenance each day. And that's really what we're looking for, is to be able to control the variables. And when we eat out, it doesn't feel like we're in control. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is that if you are on a health and fitness journey, you have some boundaries with where you decide to eat. You yourself can choose 3 to 5 restaurants in your area that you know have menu items that suit the boundaries that you have with what you think you should be eating to fit into your diet. And have those boundaries with people. If someone says, hey, I want to go out to eat, say, that's great. Do you want to go here, here, or here? If someone says, hey, we're meeting here for dinner tonight, say, that's great. Do you think that we could try to go to one of these places? So as best as you can, have boundaries with where you are going to go because you know what's on the menu. You know that there are options on there that suit you. However, if you are going somewhere where it's not your decision or you can't hold that boundary, look up the menu ahead of time. Decide then what you are going to order. Decide before the temptation of hunger or what everyone else is ordering or the smell of the food. Decide before then what you are going to order. And even better yet, go ahead and put that choice in your nutrition tracker already, so that you can build the rest of your day around it. Maybe you really want dessert at dinner. That's fine. At least you can plan ahead for it. Similarly, deciding I am going to order the salad with grilled protein, which we'll talk about as a great option, rather than the cheeseburger or the pizza. Decide ahead of time, make that declaration to yourself. Now, if you're just going to the restaurant, let's talk about how to choose what to eat. When you're looking at this whole menu, how do you know what fits into your goals? How do you know what the right thing to order is? My first piece of advice is to remember that every time we eat, we should be prioritizing protein. And I say this because if we want to improve our muscle, if we want to lose body fat, if we want a strong immune system, if we want to maintain our strength, there are so many things that protein does for us, no matter what your goal is. And so we really need to be prioritizing protein. And so by looking at the menu and zooming out and saying, where are my protein sources? You'll be able to narrow it down. Now, next up is what else is on the plate, because everything's going to add up to calories. And when we're eating out, it's likely that we're going to get way more calories than we were if we were just eating at home. Cooking at home, a normal meal is probably anywhere between 300 and 500 calories. Eating out, you're going to be looking at about 700 and higher usually. And so we really need to slow down and say, what's on my plate right now? So I always opt for protein and veggies because veggies are going to give us carbs. The protein is going to give us protein and a little bit of fat. And we're going to get a lot of extra calories from oils, or maybe if we're nibbling off of appetizers, right? So protein and veggies is the go-to. That's why my number one recommendation for when you're going out to eat is a house salad with grilled protein. The salad itself is not going to have a lot of calories because the house salad is typically just the greens and a couple veggies. The protein is going to give you an incredible amount of protein. It's going to taste so good. It's going to be cooked so well. And then you'll have some room for a fun, what I call fun dressing, or you can choose any dressing. Maybe it's a little higher calorie, but it makes the experience of ordering salad a little bit better. Now, I'll go through my top recommendations for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but as we want to continue saying, what do I choose? What if you go to a Mexican restaurant? What do you order? When we imagine what we would be making for ourselves at home, we want to pick something off the menu that we know what's in it. I know the ingredients here. So choosing something that has some kind of sauce, maybe like a curry, we don't know all the ingredients, all the calories, all the additives that went into that. Versus ordering a fajita plate is protein, veggies, and then you have the oils. Yeah. So finding the most itemized, compartmentalized menu option is a good approach. Saying, could I put this into my tracker? If I could read it off the menu, could I take all those ingredients and put them into my nutrition tracker? This is going to help you a lot with choosing the most reasonable thing for yourself. Can I track this? Could I recreate it at home? I promise you, it is still going to taste good. Now, when you are tracking these items, sometimes we will type in Caesar salad. I had a Caesar salad for lunch, but just coldly entering that into your nutrition tracker isn't going to be the most accurate. It might overestimate the calories that you had, and that might be a good thing because then you'll kind of back off at other parts of your day, or it might undershoot how many calories it is, and you really just don't know. And so the best way to track your restaurant food is to try to itemize it as much as possible. Maybe this means saying I had 3 cups of lettuce, I had 4 ounces of chicken, I had 3 tablespoons of Caesar dressing. Trying to pick that apart, you'll find that it's a much more reasonable amount of calories. That makes a lot more sense rather than just adding it in cold by searching Cuban sandwich versus breaking it down. And if it's hard to break down in your tracker, maybe you shouldn't order it with these goals in mind. Now, when you are tracking what you ate in the restaurant, we want to talk about portion sizes. Typically in a restaurant, you are going to be getting about 4 to 6 ounces of protein if you order protein, chicken, steak, whatever it may be, you'll get about 4 to 6 ounces. But the best way to really know what your portion is when you do go to track it is by weighing and portioning your food at home and starting to learn, how can I eyeball this? This looks like about 100 grams of potatoes when I eat at home. And so now what I challenge you to do is when you are eating at home, get to know your portion sizes so that when you're eating out or when you're at a friend's house and they're making the meal, you can say, this is about the amount of rice that I have at home. So I'm going to put the rest aside because I know this fits into what my calories are normally at home. So learn to eyeball that, because hopefully you're not going to be tracking your nutrition forever. And we need to start to learn to portion that out for ourselves. So let's get into breakfast, lunch, dinner recommendations. When you're going out to breakfast, this is kind of the easiest route. When we're going out to breakfast, my top two would be a classic breakfast, which is eggs, some kind of meat, and potatoes. I would swap the potatoes for fruit, but a carb is a carb. So classic breakfast is a great option. And then oatmeal, simple. All right, you pick and decide what goes on top of it, what goes in it, but oatmeal and classic breakfast are my recommendations. For lunch, what's great about going out to eat for lunch is you can kind of order whatever you want, because you can adjust your dinner based on what you had for lunch. If you went nuts at lunch when you went out to eat, that's okay. You'll just have a pretty minimal dinner, hopefully. And when it comes to dinner, we want to think more a la carte items. I'm going to have chicken breast and a side of seasonal vegetables. I promise you, it is still going to taste so good. And the confidence that you build by ordering something that you know is right for you and your goals, that nobody else is ordering, that everybody else wishes they had the courage and the willpower and self-control to order, you will be happy about it. And it's only hard to do the first 1 or 2 times. But you are going to be the one leaving that restaurant feeling light and energized and good, rather than feeling heavy and dragged down. So as you continue to navigate going out to eat, I want you to not judge yourself too much as you're practicing it, but let's just say you ordered the pizza and the wings and the fries and the milkshake and the beer. When you leave that restaurant, how are you feeling? Did your clothes get a little tighter? Are you tired? Are you lethargic? Do you feel a little gross? Versus ordering the house salad with grilled salmon and some fun dressing. You're gonna be full, I promise. And you're gonna feel so good and so confident, and you will still be building momentum towards your goals. So remember that as well. When we're looking at our plates, we do also want to acknowledge that fat calories can be very sneaky. And so we may order the salmon with best of intentions, but salmon is high in protein, also high in fat. Then you imagine that it's served with mashed potatoes that are filled with butter. And there's a pesto on your salmon, very high in fat. Very small amounts of fat are very large amount of calories. And so we want to be careful on how fatty our meals are when we go out to eat, because we're already going to be getting a lot of fat from the oils that they're cooking it with at the restaurant. Trust me, my boyfriend's a professional chef. I see what goes on back there. So at the end of it all, you guys, I want you to remember why you are going out to eat. Because if you're going because you're hungry, you can order anything and still be full. And if you're going to socialize, you can order anything and still socialize. The question is your goal truly your goal? And how long has your goal been your goal? Because if it's been your goal for a long time and you haven't made much progress, it is likely because you continue to get in your own way by making these kinds of decisions. So my hope is that with my one-on-one coaching, you don't say, I just want to live my life. I'm going to order whatever I want. You can still live your life. You will still have fun. You will still get a delicious plate. You will still feel full, and you will still enjoy yourself if you make a slightly different choice than you would before. And you can taper it. Start by saying no to the appetizers. Start by asking for a side salad instead of fries. Start by asking for just lemon or olive oil and balsamic on your salad instead of dressing. Start to make little decisions better before ordering off menu, something you've never done before. Progress over perfection. If you can just make a slightly better decision each time you go out to eat, you will get there. So have a less expectation and better intentions for yourself. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you conquer going out to eat and feel so good about it next time. I'm getting hungry just talking about this. So I'm going to go to the Cheesecake Factory across the street and get a big, beautiful house salad with grilled chicken. All right, everybody, if you want more from me, join my free Facebook group community or get into my one-on-one coaching app. I want to help as many people as possible because you will be a better parent, a better partner, and a better leader if you can begin to dial in your nutrition and fitness with me on your team. All right, everybody, I care about you. Catch you later.